a sight from my soul.
How's it going, guys? Kenneth here. Today I was thinking of getting seeds ready, getting them all planted and sprouting before we put them in the ground. I'll do that here in the polytunnel just because it'll be a bit warmer. It's still relatively coldish here in England. First thing I'll need to do is put up the back door that hasn't, so I'll need to put up this back door here, and then I'll start going through all the seeds, showing you what I've got and planting them. Yeah, so initially I was going to being interrupted by a chicken. Can you handle it? Okay, initially I was going to get the garden ready and then plant the seeds and then get the seeds into the ground, but I thought, well, it could be a couple of weeks before the seeds have sprouted and are ready to actually be planted out, so there's no point in getting the garden ready and spending time doing that now, especially because the weather's not that great today. So I'll talk you through all the seeds that we've got and get them planted, show you how I'm going to do it. Okay, so first things first, here are some parsnip. It does say you can sow straight outside in February and May, so I might actually just leave those for now, and once I've got the outside ready I'll plant those out then. Okay, so we've got some clementine tomatoes. That says sow under glass February to March, so we're probably, you know, got that time pretty well. Another variety of tomatoes, black cherry, same thing, sow under glass February to March. Okay, so this is one of my favorites, leaf beet or perpetual spinach. We had this a few years ago and it's absolutely amazing because you basically get greens all summer long. You just cut them whenever they're ready and they just come back. It's almost like magic. Okay, so we've got some cabbage, sow outside February to March, plant out April to May. Okay, so we've got some green sprouting calabrese, let's see, sow outside April to May, sow directly outside and thin plants. So probably a bit early for those, so I might just leave them for now, I'm not too sure. Got some carrots, beetroot, the variety is Ronda, also a bit early for those. Okay, so courgette or yellow zucchini, sow outside, or sow under glass March to April. These again are amazing, we get such a good yield of them and they're so easy to grow. And then some courgette, black beauties, sow under glass April. Again, I'll probably just plant these out now, you know, I don't think it's going to be a massive difference if we plant them a couple of weeks early. Again, these are incredibly prolific and you get such a good yield of these. So radish, sow outside February to September. Okay, so got a whole bunch of different lettuce. So there's can't even say that, carcarde, let's see, red salad bowl, coriander or cilantro. I mean, that's not really a salad, but it's a really nice herb to mix into salads anyway. And then some wild rocket. All these here were given to me by a friend who hasn't really got space to garden anymore. So some of them are kind of just past the plant by date, but I'll give it a go. You know, you never know, might get a few sprouting, but I think it'll be luck of the draw. So we got some beetroot. I've never seen beetroot like that before in my life, so that should be interesting. Some aubergine, cauliflower, and some peppers. So there's quite a lot to plant. What I'll do now is get all my trays ready and a mixture of soil and compost that I had left over from last year. I'll mix that all together and show you basically how I do it. It's pretty straightforward. Okay, so I've got that all mixed up now. I'll get the trays that I'm going to use to plant the seeds in and show you how I do it basically. Okay, so for the last couple of months or so, maybe a month, I've been collecting egg cartons and that's exactly what we're going to use to plant all the seeds in. The nice thing is, first of all, it's recyclable. You've planted everything, and the seedlings are ready to go into the ground. You can literally cut up the little cells and put that straight into the ground, so there's no need to mess around like trying to remove the seedling from there and, you know, transplant it. It's literally just kind of cut and paste, I suppose. There's all the soil ready to go. What I'm going to do is just go through it and get rid of things like, you know, small stones like that as I do it, instead of trying to, you know, make the whole thing, make the whole pot really fine. It's just going to take too long, and I might not actually even need that much. Okay, so basically I've just loosely put all the soil in here, and the soil and compost mix. Just going to pat it down lightly. You need to, well, you don't need to, but there's a small bit of space left in here for me to put the seeds on top and cover it, or you can just make a little impression with, you know, with a stick or with your finger or something, and to put the seed in, and then you'll just cover it over again. Whatever you prefer, really. I don't think there's any set way of doing it. So what I'll do is I'll get all of these ready, lay them out, and then I'll plant the seeds all in one go. Something I wanted to say as well is that, you know, what I'm doing here might not work for everyone. They might not want to do it like this. They might have, you know, a different way they prefer to do it. There is no hard and fast way, I don't think, that you need to plant your seeds if you're gardening at home. Just do whatever works for you. I thought it would be a good idea to do this because we eat loads and loads of eggs, and we normally compost the egg cartons. We tear them up and put them in the composter, but yeah, I thought I'll just use these to plant my seeds instead of going out and actually buying plastic seed trays. It's just a way to save a bit of money if you're on a budget, and it's just reusing stuff that you're going to have anyway. Or if you don't compost it, you're just going to recycle it, or even worse, just chuck it in the bin. So you don't have to use egg cartons. You can use seed trays, you can use small pots, you can do whatever you have that that's available to you. And that's part of the reason, or part of what I'm trying to get across, is that gardening is so easy. You just need to use what you have. Don't feel put off if you can't afford the best gardening equipment, or the best, you know, or all the right equipment. You just have to be a bit creative and a bit inventive, and just wing it, you know. And often you'd be surprised you can get really, really good results just by being a bit creative. Ralph! Hello, Ralph! Meow! There clearly isn't enough here for all the seeds that I have, but some of the stuff I'll just put straight into small pots, like the lettuce and the salad sort of things. I'll put straight into those trays over there. Yeah, so I'm going to start with the clementine tomatoes. I'll use this whole tray just for that, and then the nice thing about using the egg cartons is I can actually then go and write, you know, clementine tomatoes or tomatoes over there, so I know what they are. There's no need to have those little sort of plastic, I don't know what you call them, vegetable markers, something like that. Yeah. Okay, so those are the clementine tomato seeds. They are really, really small. You probably put like a couple in each, a couple of those in each of the cells, because not all of them are, you know, not all of them are likely to sprout. And if they do, you can just thin them down, or kind of pick one of them when they get a bit bigger. So what I'm going to do is just lightly make kind of small little holes, and take one little seed there, pop that in. I know you guys might not be able to see this, but I am putting the seeds in. I'm putting a couple per pod, per cell. Be able to just make out those seeds in. Now that those are in, I'm just going to gently cover them over. I'm not going to use too much force, and then I'm just going to sprinkle a tiny bit more soil over them. Yeah, they will need to be watered, but I'll water all the seeds together once I've planted all the egg cartons, and I'll show you a cool little trick on how to water seeds or seedlings in a way that won't damage them or displace too much of the soil. Okay, so unfortunately halfway through me planting the seeds, my battery went flat, and I thought I had a spare one charged, but I didn't, which is a bit of a rookie mistake. But I'm quite pushed for time today, so I just carried on doing what I was planning on doing without filming anything. So I will show you everything that I've done. Okay. So here are all the egg cartons with the seeds labeled to go. Some of the items, like the lettuce and rocket, them straight into these troughs. Down there I've got some coriander as well. Those I might transplant if they get a bit big, because they can tend to get quite tall, those do. And then over here are pots, and these pots are sort of duplicates of the seeds that I've already planted in the trays. The one thing I haven't done yet, and I wanted to wait until my battery was charged, was to show you how I water seedlings. What I've done is taken an old plastic water bottle and taken the lid off, just like that, and taken a really small nail and just made 4 holes in the lid, bottle it with water just like that, put the lid on, and then when you turn it upside down, I don't know if you can see that, can you see that? It just makes a really fine sort of spray of water, and that means that while you're watering the seeds before they've started growing, not much soil will be displaced, so you've got more chance of less chance of losing your seeds. So you can just go around and lightly sprinkle them with water. And yeah, that's about it for this week, guys. Hopefully see you next time, where we'll be getting more of the beds ready to plant some more seeds in and sort of tidying the garden up a bit more, and hopefully in the next couple of weeks it'll start to take a bit more shape and look a bit more gardeny and less like a tip. See you next time.